It's me, V. Here I am, trying to get myself together here, just pulling myself together from the weekend. Look, I am right out of bed. I'm so excited. Okay, so who's here? Let me tip this down a little bit. Yeah. Close. Here I am. Morning. So the title of this video is What I Know About Death and Dying and Crossing Over. That's a lot of big information in that title, right? People are wondering. Hi, Jeff. Good morning. Hey, Christy. Good morning. Jessica. Good morning. So today, Carlito, tiny gray alien. Good morning. So what I know, I'm going to be very transparent, and I'm going to be, I need to control my hair here, very transparent, and I'm going to share what I know firsthand. And, you know, I'm the kind of person that looks for proof, right? I want you to prove it to me. I want you to show me the science behind it. And unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe, depending on how you look at it, we just can never know that, right? I mean, but the beautiful thing is this. When I was growing up, and none of this made any sense to me because I never even heard of it, right? Like I was all about survival. I was trying to stay alive, basically, stay under the radar so I didn't, have issues with, mental illness, my mother, my father's alcoholism. So what you might say is I created a fantasy world. Now, none of it involved dead people or seeing spirits because I just wasn't in my realm, right? So my first experience with this was when I was 25 years old. My grandfather passed, and I saw him plain as day, just like you're in the grocery store and you would see people. But it wasn't like if somebody walked in the room, they would see him also because it was in here. It was a projection in my mind's eye. And I heard him speak to me, and I heard him tell me that he was okay. He told me about the crossing. And he also appeared to me in a way that I'd never seen him because obviously I was 25 when he passed, he was 67. And when he appeared to me, he was in full uniform. He served in the US Army. And I had never seen him like that. And he appeared in full uniform. I would say he was probably in his 20s, if not 20, 21, 22, 23, somewhere in there. And he told me he was okay. Now, let me back up because prior to that, 2 to 3 weeks before he passed away, maybe even a month, I'll say. So a month to 2 weeks. I'm not sure exactly what the time frame was because this was in 1987. He had begun what I now know was preparing me for his exit. So he would sit me down and he would tell me things that I would be best served if I would do this and how I could finish up this and what I should do to help my grandmother when he's gone. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we knew he had a heart condition, but it was not imminent, so to speak, that he was going to go. But he was preparing me. So what I now know, because fast forward in all the thousands of readings I've done, the soul knows about 4 weeks to 3 months that it's going home. It knows. Now, it obviously doesn't tell the human in a way that we would hear it, but the soul knows. And so what happens is it begins to take over the process of living, right? So finally, the soul is stepping out and saying, okay, here's what's happening. And the soul is giving it to the humans so that they can digest it, so that it's not alarming, right? So if he would have come to me and said, well, I know I'm going home, I would have been freaking out, right? Nobody can know that, but I'm telling you, a month to 3 months before the soul goes home, it knows. If you are somebody who is watching somebody actively pass, meaning they're on hospice, or you know that the time is coming, there are physical symptoms that the body goes through. Here's another thing I know. I've heard thousands of times when there is pain involved, such as a fiery crash or burning in a building, the soul evacuates. The soul leaves the body before the pain. So, yes, it will look painful, but the soul departs. Okay. If you go back to the point of impact in an accident, sometimes the soul will even leave before the point of impact, specifically if the soul or if the human isn't going to wake up. Okay. Does the soul know this if it passes from an accident? Yes, the soul absolutely knows what it passes from. The soul knows, and now the soul doesn't necessarily choose to pass from an accident. Maybe it does, but the soul does know what it passes from. Now, here's the thing. The soul, time and time and time and time again, has said to me, and it's the same kind of wording, it's just like I got up and went into another room. To the soul, it's an uneventful experience because the soul never really left what it is, which is its essence, the essence of energy, right? It came into this body, but the soul didn't have an attachment to the body like another human might have, or the human has attachment to the body. The soul saw it as a means to an end. I need to learn, I need the experience, and so this is what I'm going to do. So with that said, yes, there is a review process when we cross over. It's not punitive in nature at all. There is no purgatory. There is no purgatory in the sense, and I'm going to explain this because it's not purgatory in a religious kind of sense, right? It's purgatory like this. I'm waiting between lifetimes. I'm going to incarnate, but in the meantime, I'm going to stand over here and I'm going to wait over here. Maybe that's purgatory. I don't know. Purgatory to me seems punitive. Let's call it a version of heaven. Okay. So we're here in this physical body. However, we go out, we go out. The soul goes in this process of the review with the council of elders, with its peers, with its past life souls, with its soul family. And it has like a checklist of sorts of what it came in to do. And so it goes through all of this and all of this. And so it then says, okay, now keep in mind, there's no such thing as time. There's no linear time. We cannot say, okay, it's been 3 weeks. What's going to happen? It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. This is part of the reason why you are going to have all of these questions, because you have the human mind, right? So the soul goes through the review process. All of the lives simultaneously that it ever was are all hanging under this umbrella. So do you have questions? Does anybody have questions on the death and dying process? So Doran says, will the person know 3 months before the accident? The person won't know. No, the soul will know. There's 2 different things. The soul is different than the person. And it doesn't necessarily know that it's going to be an accident. The soul knows that it's preparing for its takeoff, its liftoff, if you will, to go home. So when the soul crosses over, it is, and I'll tell you, in all of these readings I've done, and I can only speak to my personal experience, no one has ever got trapped. No one has ever not crossed over. You know, some souls, it takes a little bit of time. Some will linger in the room and watch the family, but not from a heavy perspective of, oh, it's so sad, but just because they want to be there. Now, the other thing I know is that souls, when they appear to family members or when they'll talk to family members, they'll use phrases, they'll use symbology, they'll use imagery. When they talk to me as the translator, they will use imagery that maybe they'll come in and they'll appear to me as somebody in their 30s when they actually died in their 80s, because that's the point where they feel most comfortable. I will tell you a story too. There was a reading I was doing, and I say my readings are co-creative because I'm going to give you what I get. I'm not probing you for answers. I'm saying, hey, this is what I'm getting. I'm confused as the translator. Does this make sense? There was a woman I did a reading for, and she was kind of on the fence. I don't know if I wouldn't call her a non-believer, but I'm not sure she was all the way there. There was a woman that came in, and her name was Gloria. She kept calling herself Gloria. Gloria's here. And to this woman, she was like, I don't know a Gloria. I don't know a Gloria. I'm like, I'm telling you, this is Gloria. And she's giving me all of this evidence of, well, that sounds familiar, but yeah, I don't know a Gloria. She got hung up on the name Gloria. And she said, I'm saying, this is your grandmother. No, my grandmother's name was Catherine, right? Something like that. And I said, no, this is Gloria. And I gave the evidence. She goes, yeah, that sounds like her. So here it is. Her grandmother was born with the name Gloria. Her given birth name was Gloria. She was later adopted and she became Catherine. And the woman that I was doing the reading for, it wasn't computing. And I just said to Spirit, you gotta help me here. You gotta give me more reach with this. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the woman goes, oh my God, I forgot her birth name was Gloria. And so all of this makes sense. Be patient. Take your time when you're getting a reading. Be open-minded. I promise you, they don't go anywhere. They're here. If I want to talk to my grandmother, I just call her up. Like, Nan, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And she'll put things in my mind, or throughout the day, she'll show me things. Here's the thing. Don't have an agenda that says now, 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 now. You don't ask a question of your guides, because yes, the guides are on the other side. Okay. They can be loved ones, but they can also be from a past life, or they can just be guides, right? Over the weekend, I got a message that I'm the channeler of a group of collective beings in the 9th dimension called the Solarians. I'm like, what the hell is a Solarian? I don't know a Solarian. So I looked up the Solarians and I'm like, oh my God, this makes sense from events that had happened the past week. So you are always communicated with by guides, by angels, by your loved ones. So in 1996, when I went to take my life and I had an angelic intervention, it was kind of like, I was surged up. I was plugged in, right? Because since that time, I began to see things, know things. Now, not that it wasn't always there, because it was always there. But what I did was I was plugged in a little bit deeper, a little bit more, which made me dive into it, which made me want to learn. So here's the thing. We can all play the piano. We can sit down, we can hit the keys, we can bang the keys. We can take lessons, right? We can get better at hitting the keys. But the truth is, not all of us are going to be Beethoven on the piano. Same is true with mediumship. Every single person, without exception, you give me the most hard-headed person and I will show you that they have mediumship potential. Every single human being has the potential. Are they going to be a Beethoven of mediumship? Maybe not, but they can do it. And maybe they're going to do it to the ability that they need to do it because their loved one's going, hey, I got to tell you where that insurance policy is and you need to listen to me. You never know why. Beverly, you know what, Beverly? That's a question. I feel you. I feel compassion for you. Addiction is a terrible, terrible thing, but addiction comes from fear. And Beverly, if I were you, I would dig into what are you afraid of? So here's my thing. I'm taking a group of 20 people, intimate group, 20 people, only 20 people. You're having access to me. Full-time access to me via Voxer, a messenger service. I'm taking you under my wing for 8 weeks, and I am creating the space, the teaching, the education for you to become a medium. Now, maybe you want to become a medium because you want to hear from your loved ones. Maybe you want to become a medium because you want to do this professionally. This is for beginners. Wherever you are on your beginning journey, I'm taking you under my wing and I'm creating the space, the education, and the knowledge to help you on your journey to becoming a medium, whatever that means for you. Will I get past my beer drinking? Hey, Cheryl, good morning. So, death and dying, to wrap it up, we never die. We never do. You can't kill energy. And so the soul knows it's going home a month to 3 months before. I've watched a soul transition. I've heard souls transition. There's the thing called the death rattle. The body physically gets ready to die, right? This might be what I need to focus on more to be more accurate. Listen, here's the thing. You can lead a horse to water, right? I can teach you, I can give you every single nugget of what I know. You have to take the reins. You have to say, I want to do this. So here's my thought to each one of you. If you want to do mediumship, meaning you want to talk to your guides, your spirit guides, your angels, your deceased loved ones, maybe you want to work and help clients through the grieving process, whatever your reasoning is, you need a teacher. I don't know if I'm that teacher for you because what you see with me is what you get. I'm sitting here in my pajamas, no makeup, hairs all over, drinking my coffee. And I'm telling you, I am the average everyday person who does this work. Right? So here's the thing. I want you to ask yourself why. Why do I want to do mediumship? What's my drive? What's behind this? Because I'm going to be fully transparent here with you. I didn't know what the fuck a medium was. I didn't know. I had no fucking clue. You want me to do what? You want me to talk to who? I didn't know. And so it became revealed to me over time, this is what you do. I'm a psychic first and foremost, and that means I can read energy. I can look at any one of you over here in the comments, right? And I can see and I can feel and I can go right into your energy space and I know things about you, right? I can turn that on, I could turn it off, right? That's years of learning. With mediumship, I never understood, like, why do I want to talk to the dead? But what you need to understand, oh my God, this is big. What you need, let me fix my hair. What you need to understand, everything up here, your intellect, you inherited that. It came from one generation to the other and you inherited it and you just naturally fell into who you are. If you are connecting to your guides, if you are in fact actually practicing mediumship, you are connecting into the essence of the divine, of the I am, of the energy of the soul. You are getting unadulterated, pure, non-bastardized information. And it will never scare you, and it will never be heavy, and you will never second guess it once you learn to understand its language. If you were going to go to Japan right now and you were going to get on a plane and you were going to get off and there was no English and all you spoke was English, what are you going to do? Oh my God, oh my God. You're probably not going to go to Japan without some sort of plan, right? Whether it's an app on your phone or whether it's a little book in front of you or whatever, you're going to have some sort of plan to get you to understand the people that are talking. You're going to have to, right? Or maybe you're only going to go to the space where they speak English. I don't know. But if you're going to communicate with the other side, whether you're going to do this professionally, and let me tell you something, I'm just going to go right out on a limb here. I'm going to be honest with you. When I left my full-time job to do this professionally, I thought, oh my God, I'm fucked. Because I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was doing. I just followed directions blindly. I jumped off the cliff. And now I'm telling you this not from arrogance. Not from arrogance, because money, could care, right? But I got to earn money. I got to eat. I make 6 figures doing this, consistent 6 figures. But that's because I'm committed. I constantly take continuing education classes. I'm constantly investing in myself, in my personal development, in my spiritual development. I have spiritual directors. I have spiritual mentors. I am constantly being flooded with learning. I work at this in a way that soothes my heart and soul so that I can teach others how to do this. If you are drawn to doing this, find a teacher that resonates with you. It may not be me. There are a dime a dozen out there. You can't Google and not get 25 instant listings on who you can learn from. Engage your heart. Know yourself. Don't look for the cheapest alternative. Don't let money be the factor. But also, don't go into debt for it. Don't not pay your bills. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see, who do we have? I believe I was an alien in a past life. I'm just to figure out why I came back to Earth because it's, yeah, hey, Carlito, I get it. To be of service for folks with connections with their people. Honest, I start an outpatient clinic today. I just got out of the hospital with an allergic reaction, new medication. Knowledge is power. Absolutely, absolutely. So here's the thing. We don't end. The dying process is like this. The gestation process of a newborn. The soul, before it comes in, has all these planning things to make, right? And the soul goes, okay, I'm going to come into this, and I'm going to have this, and the soul, and it's a birth process. It's a gestation period, right? 9 months. We're carried for 9 months. When we exit, we don't need 9 months. We need maybe a month to 3 months. But remember, life is circular. Life mimics nature. Okay, never ends. Oh, I love you too. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy. I really want to live in source power to be able to raise the vibration of every. Oh, Carrie. Woohoo, girl, me too. Here's the thing I had to learn. I couldn't do shit for anybody if I couldn't do it for myself first. So the first few years of my professional life, I walked around and I was good. I mean, what I knew, I was a little, rough around the edges. Not that I'm not now, but the more I learned about me, the key to this work, the key to really doing this work and doing it well is personal development. If you're not going to commit to personally developing yourself, you're not going to be any good to anyone else, whether guides on the other side or people here. So when I decided to teach Mediumship 101 for beginners, I pared it all down. I stripped it all down. And I said, what do you need to know? And I'm not holding back anything. It's real. It's raw. When you're done with your 8 weeks with me, you will have connected with a spirit. Absolutely. You will have elevated your own confidence. You will have a game plan, and you will have an understanding of what life is like on the other side of the veil. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to teach you what the veil really is, because the veil isn't really what y'all think it is. So, Mediumship 101 with moi, Veronica Drake. It is a big deal. And I'm telling you, I couldn't be more excited to bring this to you in a way that I've never done before. So, watch for the link. I promise you it's coming.